In a fiery speech at Davos, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky blasted the EU's lack of political will in countering Russian leader Vladimir Putin. And that was reportedly just minutes after Zelensky had met with U.S. President Donald Trump in a conversation which he said brought agreement about what post-war U.S. security guarantees for Ukraine would look like. However, Zelensky did not offer details. This comes ahead of Russian, Ukrainian, and U.S. negotiators holding talks in the United Arab Emirates today. Joining us on the set is our foreign editor, Philip Turle. Hello to you, Philip. Let's start with this Zelensky speech at Davos.
Right, let's break it down a bit, shall we? This is the first time that Volodymyr Zelensky has really opened up and criticised Europe so much. Basically comparing his situation to that in the film Groundhog Day, which is like a recurring return to the start, where you never get out of a catch-22 situation. He said, this is the same speech I'm making this year that I made last year. Europe has got to wake up. Europe has got to get its act together, because what would happen if the United States stopped supporting Europe? We've seen with what has been happening over Greenland. It could happen again. What would happen if there was an attack against Poland and the US, as part of NATO, refused to intervene? Who would intervene to protect Poland? That is something that the European Union and Europe has got to come to terms with and has got to sort out. I think on the bottom line is that he's not completely wrong about this. We've seen a coming together of the Europeans over the past few days over Donald Trump's handling of the affair in Greenland. Some European countries, especially France, have been much more vociferous, much more aggressive towards the United States, but others are still trying to do this softly approach. Volodymyr Zelensky saying that Europe has got to really get its act together, and also it needs to give more energy and more support to Ukraine. Basically, his patience has run out, and he's just annoyed that Europe has an inability to help Ukraine as, in his view, it should, and this war has been dragging on far too long.
Yeah, what do we know about these trilateral talks beginning today?
Okay, so the trilateral talks, this is the first time that all three sides, Ukraine, the United States and Russia, will be together. What we don't know is, will the Ukrainians and the Russians be meeting around the table to discuss? There are working groups 2 days, today and tomorrow. This is taking place in Abu Dhabi. We know who's going to be there. There will be Jared Kushner, Donald Trump's son-in-law. There will also be Steve Witkoff, the special envoy of Donald Trump, who's been in Moscow yesterday, both men in Moscow yesterday. For the Russians, there will be General Igor Kostyukov, the director of the GRU military intelligence. And for the Ukrainians, there will be their chief negotiator, Rustem Umerov. We don't know what this is going to produce. Will this produce anything normal? It is a series, it can be seen as being a progression, because that will bring the two sides together, but whether or not they can work out something and move forward with a path to some kind of ceasefire and peace agreement, that is still very much a long shot.